Imagine for a moment that life is a relentless river. In its waters, you find yourself being carried by the currents of fear, doubt, and external expectations. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how long will you keep drifting, tied to everything you cannot control? How many times have you tried to fill an inner void with things that promise happiness, yet only feed your anguish and exhaustion? What if I told you that true peace doesn't lie in fighting against the river AS flow, but in learning to swim with it? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, left us a precious key, a wisdom capable of breaking the chains of anxiety and suffering. He taught us that true freedom, and with it inner peace, only comes when we accept the truths that life imposes on us. It's not an easy path, and certainly not a popular one, but it's the only one that can lead us to balance. What I am about to share with you is not an empty trick or hollow promise. It is a profound revelation, grounded in the laws of nature and the human mind. 3 simple but powerful truths that you must accept if you truly wish to find inner peace. I know you've tried everything. You've searched for answers in books, talked with friends, maybe even made promises to yourself. But here, you will learn something different, something that cuts straight to the core of what truly makes a difference. Are you ready to see life through the wisdom of an emperor and free yourself from your chains? Get ready, because what comes next might forever transform your view of the world. Have you ever stopped to consider that most human suffering comes from the constant pursuit of control? We live in a world that paradoxically convinces us we can change everything around us. But is that control real, or is it just an illusion created by our anxious mind? Marcus Aurelius, in his Stoic wisdom, warned us about this. Life is what happens while you're making other plans, he said, inviting us to reflect on our inability to predict or control life's events. We try to manage what's beyond our power, wasting our energy in an effort that, in the end, only wears us down and weakens us. Now think about your current reality. How many times have you caught yourself fighting against something you cannot change? Whether it's a crisis at work, a difficult relationship, or society's pressure to conform, have you noticed that the more we try to control, the more we lose command over our own inner peace? When we accept that many things are beyond our control, we begin to live more peacefully. Accepting this truth doesn't mean being passive in life, but rather learning to discern what is within our reach and what is not. Peace doesn't come from relentless struggle, but from the acceptance that we are not gods. We are human, and in that vulnerability lies our true strength. From the moment you understand that control is an illusion, something begins to change within you. Have you ever felt the relief of surrendering to something greater? Something that transcends your limitations? That doesn't mean you have no responsibilities or should abandon your actions. It means you must act with wisdom and serenity, knowing where your influence truly lies. The greatest power you can achieve is the freedom to know when to fight and when to let life flow without resistance. And this understanding, little by little, begins to bring the true inner peace we all seek. Now think of a specific situation in your life where you're trying to control something beyond your reach. What if you could let go, trust the process, and allow life to unfold naturally? Imagine how much lighter your spirit would feel, how that lightness could transform your mindset and bring more peace and clarity to your daily actions. The first step toward true freedom is realizing that, often, there's nothing you need to control. Accepting this is liberating. Many times we run from pain and adversity as if they were our enemies. But what Marcus Aurelius teaches us is that suffering is not something to fear. It is part of the very nature of human existence. In his Meditations, he writes, "What disturbs us is not events themselves, but our judgments about them." Why do we continue to try to avoid pain, to torment ourselves over life's difficulties, when the very essence of human existence lies in the lessons that come from adversity? Suffering is often a disguised teacher. It is not the exception, it is the rule. Imagine for a moment that you were capable of accepting every hardship as an invitation to self-knowledge. What would happen to your life if, instead of avoiding suffering, you looked at it with curiosity and patience? Every pain, every challenge carries within it a valuable lesson. When we understand this, we can change our perspective on life and on what happens to us. Stoicism doesn't ask us to love pain, but to accept it as a starting point for growth. Suffering is an opportunity to strengthen our soul and expand our vision of the world. Did you know that instead of resisting suffering, you can use it to become stronger, more resilient, and wiser? Marcus Aurelius, as an emperor and philosopher, was deeply tested by the adversities of his time. But he never let them defeat him. His wisdom was forged in pain, not in comfort. He understood that to be truly free, we must be capable of dealing with suffering in a wise and balanced way. He teaches us not to fear pain, but to use it as a springboard toward inner peace. Take a moment to reflect. What are the greatest challenges in your life right now? What if you could look at those moments with new eyes, as opportunities rather than obstacles? The suffering you're facing, no matter how painful, may be the key to unlocking a stronger version of yourself. Instead of running from it, why not embrace it with courage and search for what it's trying to teach you? This is the second step to achieving inner peace, to see suffering as part of the journey, not as an enemy to be defeated. Now that we've talked about control and suffering, there's one final truth Marcus Aurelius shared with those who sought wisdom. Peace is not found in external factors, events, or material things. Peace lives within us, in our minds. He said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This makes us reflect. How much of your mind is consumed by anxieties, worries, and judgments about the world around you? True peace can only be found when we learn to master our thoughts, to filter what affects us, and to live in harmony with our own nature. What does this mean in everyday life? It means that when you learn to observe your thoughts and detach yourself from the negative emotions they generate, you achieve a state of calm that is immune to external turbulence. Instead of being carried away by the tides of the mind, you become the master of your own mind. Inner peace doesn't come from the outside. It arises from within you, from the moment you decide not to let external chaos dictate your peace. This requires discipline and awareness. It demands that you become attentive to what is happening inside of you. Imagine for a moment that you have the power to choose, at every moment, how to react to external stimuli. Does that seem possible? Marcus Aurelius believed it was. He teaches us that we are not victims of circumstances, but rulers of our minds. What happens outside of us is only part of the picture. What truly matters is how we respond to it. This is something we can all cultivate, the ability to choose our response, to control our mind, and therefore, our inner peace. So, what's the big key here? Peace is not something you seek in the outer world, but something you discover within. When you begin to realize that your greatest obstacles lie in your own mind, not in your external circumstances, you start moving toward freedom. True mastery isn't about controlling situations, but about mastering your thoughts. And when you achieve that, you become unshakable. Now that you've absorbed these three powerful truths, it's time to reflect. How can you apply them practically in your life? The path of transformation isn't instant, it's gradual. Marcus Aurelius never preached that peace was a destination, but a continuous process. True wisdom lies in learning to live with these truths in mind, integrating them into every action and thought. There is no magic, but there is genuine depth in living with this understanding. First, practice accepting what cannot be controlled. When you stop fighting the inevitable, you'll begin to notice a shift within you. Fear will lessen, anxiety will fade, and you'll uncover an immeasurable inner strength. Then, face suffering with courage. You can't avoid it, but by embracing it, you'll grow in ways you never imagined. And finally, remember that your peace is in your mind. Begin observing your thoughts, questioning them, and freeing yourself from what no longer serves you. This is the path to true freedom. It's not easy, nor always linear, but it's the only path that leads to lasting peace. Each day is a new opportunity to apply these truths and walk toward a more balanced, fulfilled, and, above all, free life. If you accept these three truths and begin living by them, you'll see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Now, at the end of this journey, you're faced with a crucial choice. You can continue living the way you always have, repeating old patterns, fighting what you can't control, avoiding suffering, and letting your peace depend on external conditions. Or you can choose to take the first step toward true freedom, accepting these truths and living more fully, wisely, and peacefully. The choice is yours, and the power to change is in your hands. What will you choose? What you've just heard isn't just a bunch of words or distant concepts. These are keys that, if you accept them with an open heart and mind, can transform your life. By facing the illusion of control, embracing suffering as a teacher, and realizing that peace truly lives within your own mind, you begin to uncover the path to true freedom. Change doesn't happen overnight, but the first step is always the hardest, and today, you've taken it. Deep within your soul, you now know, true peace isn't something you earn from the outside. It is a decision from within. The decision to look at the chaos and know that while it's inevitable, your peace is your own choice. Remember, peace is not out there. It never was. What you've been searching for in other places and moments has always been inside of you, waiting to be seen and nurtured. The great secret that few understand is that life doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks that you be authentic. And to be authentic is to acknowledge the truths you can now internalize, that control is an illusion, that suffering is part of the journey, and that your mind, when rightly directed, is the fertile ground where true peace is born. This awareness is, without a doubt, a silent revolution unfolding in your life. Now, I invite you to reflect on what you'll do with this knowledge. What will you do from this very moment forward, with these truths now in your hands? Change doesn't come from grand gestures, but from small daily choices. The simple act of shifting your focus, accepting what you can't control, and seeing adversity as opportunity can transform your destiny. Instead of waiting for the world to meet your expectations, begin adjusting yourself to the world, accepting it as it is, and then transforming yourself. True peace, as Marcus Aurelius taught us, isn't something you chase outside. It is a silent battle we fight within. And the question now is, are you ready to take up that battle and claim your peace from the inside out? If you are, then subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Join us on this journey of transformation, because those who seek wisdom do so not only for themselves, but to spread it and create a calmer, more conscious world. And if you truly believe in that, it will be an honor to have you with us.